In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new Mavic Air 2 coming out on April 27th. I'm going to share with you every single piece of information that has been leaked about this drone, every picture that I was able to find that was leaked about this drone, and I'm going to share with you the specs that we know about the Mavic Air and the specs that we know about the Mavic Air 2, and we're going to see what major improvements there has been from this drone to the Mavic Air 2. Let's check it out. Now, as a Mavic Air owner, I can tell you some of the biggest issues I have with this drone. One, the props are extremely loud. Out of all the drones DJI has made for its size, this drone is so obnoxiously loud. Another problem with this particular drone is the sensor size. It's a 1/2.3 sensor size, which is very small, which means you don't get as much light coming into the camera. So in lower light situations, you're not getting as good a picture, and overall, your picture just isn't as good as a camera with a larger sensor. And last but not least, this drone comes with enhanced Wi-Fi. That was extremely frustrating when the Air was released, because at the time OcuSync 2.0 was available. What this means is you have a more stable connection between drone and remote. But with enhanced Wi-Fi, if you're flying in a dense populated area, there's so many Wi-Fi signals bouncing around that it will interrupt your signal between your drone and your remote. But with OcuSync 2.0, you don't have that problem near as much as you do with enhanced Wi-Fi. So with those three things I mentioned, what we know about the Mavic Air 2 is that you will get OcuSync 2.0. No more enhanced Wi-Fi. So now you will have a solid connection between remote and drone. Another awesome thing that we know about is that the battery of the Mavic Air 2 is twice the capacity of the Mavic Air's battery. So as technology improved, they were able to pack more power into a smaller device, which means you should get a 35-minute flight time, but in a real-world situation, it's probably likely you'll get somewhere around 25 minutes of flight time. But you compare that to the Mavic Air, which would give you a realistic flight time of about 15 to 18 minutes. You're getting 10, 11, 12 minutes more of flight time, which is pretty amazing. That's a huge improvement in itself. Another small improvement is the sensor size. The Air has a 1/2.3 inch sensor size, and the Air 2 has a 1/2 inch sensor size, which gives you a little bit more light coming in on that sensor. And then when we take a look at the props on these leaked pictures, we can see that they have the enhanced props, which is going to give you a much quieter flight from the original Mavic Air. So these particular upgrades are quite amazing when you compare to some of the small upgrades, especially in the Phantom line that DJI made. It was like they kept releasing these drones with just tiny little improvements that really didn't make a huge difference. But now we see a major difference between the Air and the Mavic Air 2. Now, as far as obstacle avoidance, we see the same front, rear, and bottom sensors on both of these drones. No sensors on the top. But that's not to say they probably haven't improved the obstacle avoidance system. Maybe it's better at seeing tree branches or smaller objects that the Mavic Air had a hard time seeing. And the reason I think this is, let's take a look at some of these pictures. You notice that these models aren't even holding a remote. The drone is just hovering right next to them, which leads me to believe that DJI has now been able to develop a follow me feature, an active track 3.0 that will be able to follow individuals without having too much trouble of obstacles or losing sight of you, because it really seems like they're advertising this drone to be able to be used without a remote controller, which also leads me to believe that they're going to market this as a travel drone, an adventure drone, something that's not going to require too much of an operator, but hopefully it will be able to operate itself so you can focus on your activities. Another piece of leaked information is the price point of $799. Now, we can't guarantee this price point, but we're hopeful that this in fact is correct, which means it'll be about $120 cheaper than the release price point of the Mavic Air. another big improvement. Another thing that I'm really hoping for that was missing in the Mavic Air, but we see in the Mavic Mini, is a charging port where you can just plug right into the drone and charge the battery on the drone. So it'd be nice to see in the Mavic Air 2 the ability to charge the batteries right from the drone on a USB cable. Well, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Please subscribe to the channel if you like the video, or if you like Sony cameras, GoPros, drones, or you want to learn more about video editing, this channel is the place for you. And let me know in the comments if there's something in particular you want to learn about or know about. Maybe I will make a video just for you. That's all I have for you. Have a good night.